employees in 9 countries. Believe it or not, I'm the only male in the department. So I hope at the end of this, I will be able to inspire some of the gentlemen here to aspire to roles in human resources. It is my pleasure to speak to you about the vital role of human resource management. I've been with Scotiabank for 18 years, and when I joined the bank, I expected to be in Barbados for most of my life, in one company, being focused on what is happening locally, with minimal interaction with persons outside of Barbados, and with little concern towards what was happening globally. In 2017, the world is very different. We have new cutting-edge technologies and new age operating techniques. Companies like the one I work for operate across geographies and cultures. Economies are interrelated and rise and fall continuously. Companies have operated with increasingly stringent laws and also regulations. I ask you, what holds this all together? Is it the buildings? No, not really. Because some persons don't even report to a specific place of work. They work remotely. Is it the computers, machinery, or even technology? Only partially so. The one thing that makes it all work and holds it all together, the biggest asset to any company, the people. People are the reason behind every customer interaction, every product delivery, every marketing presentation, and every successful company. In most organizations, the role of the human resource manager is critical to ensuring that people remain engaged and productive and contributing to the business, their life, the life of their family, and their personal goals. The human resource department has evolved beyond a personnel department, who was mainly responsible for administrative duties. The modern HR department has 4 main responsibilities, and we call them the 4 A's of HR. These are administer, advise, audit, and advocate. These responsibilities are relevant whether you work in a department of 1, a department of several, or if you own your own business. The following administrative tasks are undertaken by the Human Resource Department. The first one being recruitment, and that's the main responsibility of the HR team. It is the job of HR personnel to plan and devise campaigns and guidelines for recruiting suitably qualified candidates for required positions. They also have to serve as mediator between the employee and the candidate and communicate company policies and terms of the contract for employment. The first pillar of HR management is that every HR manager starts with this. It's probably one of the most important aspects of any HR professional's career. The HR manager is most likely the first person you meet at any company. Closely linked to recruitment is training and development. That's my area. The HR department is generally responsible for planning, coordinating, training for all staff, and keeping records of training that has been completed. There's also compensation and benefits. They're responsible for administering salaries and payrolls, as well as medical plans, life insurance plans, uniforms, share option plans, vacation, bonus, of course, and all benefits that the company have to offer. They're also who you go to when you want a pay increase. So some of the skill sets required: you should have strong administrative skills, such as competence in record keeping, good skills in preparing Word documents and also spreadsheets. You should also have a great attention to detail. The HR department is also a source of information in the organization and provides advice and counsel on situations and policies and also procedures that impact on employees. The HR department provides guidance to people and employees on training, on policies, procedures, and also performance appraisals. In addition, we provide advice to both people managers and also staff on how to handle disputes and grievances. This requires a balancing act, since, as a manager, you're daily challenged with providing advice to both sides of a conflict. What is important for you to remember is that the HR department is ensuring that the process is followed and that all parties come to a mutual agreement. We in HR are sometimes not too interested with the outcome, just as long as it fits within the organization's policy. We advise and we also indicate on possible implications of a particular route, and at the end of the day, we leave it up to the business lines to follow their course of action. So some skill sets required to do this would be strong interpersonal skills, communication, coaching, and negotiating skills. Let's take a look at audit. Even though I said earlier that HR provides advice and leaves the decision up to the manager, we in HR still know quite a bit about what is happening in our organization. We're connected to every department, be it formally or informally. But a great way to know how we're doing is to audit what is actually happening. And by audit, we're not referring to accounting principles. We mean establishing methods or avenues via which we can determine what is working well in the organization and where we are and what opportunities for improvement are there. Some examples of this would be employee feedback, using employee surveys, a visit to a department with employees, or an HR review where in-depth conversations are held with employees. It could also mean a review of salary and benefits to see where we are and what needs to be changed. It could mean a review of policies to bring things in line or up to date. So some skill sets required to do this would be strong observational skills and, of course, listening. The final role of the HR department is to be advocates. We promote or campaign for and sponsor any new idea or way to do things. Now, it is something that we in HR don't talk about much, but it's very vital. We are asked to be visionaries in the organization. We see into the future. We know what is working now and what will work in the future. We know what the future would look like. We know the differences between the baby boomers and Generation X employees. We know what motivates employees and what doesn't. As a result, we advocate for change. We advocate for implementation of new training policies, programs, and benefits. To do this, we must have strong conflict management skills and influencing skills. You also have to be on top of what is happening in your industry so you can always provide the right advice. You have to be willing to learn. People often look to HR for guidance. We lead from the front, and you have to lead from the front if you want persons to follow. So I've given you a list of what HR does on a daily basis, and trust me, we've just scratched the surface. What I want you to remember is regardless of your role in HR, as an HR manager, you're responsible for people, and people drive business. People create avenues for your business to do well. So in order for your business to succeed, you need people. We often look at the glamour of being a manager, but remember, you have people breathing, thinking, feeling, ambitious human beings who, for the most part, want to come to work and do a great job while providing for themselves and their families. So being an HR manager is not about telling someone what to do. It is about helping the company move forward and helping persons to discover their true potential. It is about being patient while a vision you have works its way slowly towards implementation. As a trainer myself, I can tell you I don't often see the results immediately. It takes time, and it's taught me how to be patient while I wait for those results. You would note, I haven't spent much time on degree or certification. Success in HR is really less about that. Yes, don't get me wrong, please pursue your certification in human resources management, in industrial relations, employee relations, management, psychology, or sociology. It will help you to get your foot in the door. Of course, you can also pursue a career in engineering or accounting and still end up in HR. My training and my studies actually were in computer science before I entered the HR department. You have to be bold and courageous in order to confront daily challenges. You have to be willing to learn continuously and especially to learn from your mistakes. You have to speak equally to persons who are both junior and senior. We make tough decisions in HR and we have to stand by them. Most of all, you have to love to work with people and do what's right at all times. So, moving on to the video we just saw, if I were to say HR, I had to give HR a superpower, it would be Superman or Wonder Woman. Because we have to walk before a lasso of truth at all times. We have to be impenetrable. In other words, you come across situations where persons are freely tell you what they think, and sometimes it's really what they think of you too. And you have to be impenetrable. You also have to have foresight and vision. So sometimes we can see objects at a far distance because we are trained to be able to understand trends in the market and understand people so that we can give the best possible advice. So I would say we would be definitely Superman or Wonder Woman. Regardless of where you attended secondary school, I'll tell you also that doesn't matter. In my HR team, we have persons from many of the schools represented here today who make up part of the HR department. So it really is about having a love for people, a dedication to service, and a dedication towards bringing your company forward. And I would say that's the most important role of any HR department, to serve. On behalf of Scotiabank, let me wish you success in whatever chosen careers you aspire to. Thank you very much for having me.